In the studio, well, chairman of the Ghana Music Rights Organization, GAMRO, Mr. Retsumar Rapini. Good morning and thank you very much for coming.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Right. Beats Menace. Yesterday we spoke with Beats Menace, and today he's here in flesh.
Yes, sir. You owe me fufu.
You know, right?
Why scares the dog?
I know. Oh, hey,
See, this one day you owe me.
Look who's talking.
I know you're the big man here, but Charlie, this one day.
Charlie, your boy is here. Oh.
Charlie.
Beats Menace is here. Is here. Beats Menace, Charlie, welcome.
Thanks.
Right,
Thanks.
Seven Xavier is also here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Seven is a record producer, sound engineer, A&R executive, and he has offered to join us in the studio.
Only because I had fufu, so I came.
It's gonna be Charlie.
You go science, please.
That
fufu there, we don't go share like
this is a fufu family because I go to eat fufu with Uncle Rex. We have some joint.
Plus two.
Oh no, there's another joint.
Another one.
And that's one.
As for fufu, it's the best on the West Coast.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so gentlemen, this week we've been discussing music producers and artists, their relationships. Music producers are complaining artists don't pay them. Artists come and they are complaining. Music producers work for them, they charge them too much. Music producers are also saying, well, they didn't even know anything was to be signed. There's nothing like split sheets. They don't know anything about it. What's the copyright? What's governing? What is the publishing thing? What at all is split sheet? What at all? How is GAMRO even affecting them? Yesterday we had the CEO, Jebraham, also came here and he really helped. This morning, the chairman is here. Chairman, let me begin with you. You cried there. I'm very happy that you are here because you are, apart from being a producer, you are a musician. And you survived. The pre-current, and I'm sure you continue till God calls you. So back in the day, were there, even before that, you are also assigned to publishing groups or institutions like you are with ASCAP, eh?
I'm with Swizzer.
Swizzer, okay, right. So you've seen them all. Back in the day, was there anything like you go to no? Take us through. What were you doing? So you go to a studio to record, then what?
Okay, thank you very much. I think that ever since I entered into the music industry for the past, let's say, 35 years.
Legendary.
As time goes on, I realized that there's a lot of ignorance in our space. Be it the musicians themselves, the producers, the record labels, the distributors. People did not understand anything. All they understood was, I've gone to studio, I've recorded, I've sold my music, a CD right. Somebody, even a distributor calls himself a producer. And then we use the terminologies anyhow. And it has continued up till date. All these things that we've been talking about split sheets and all these things, it started long ago. That is the standards of the industry. And I believe that Ghana has been out of these things because there has never been a music or recording industry in Ghana. Like proper recording industry that rules and regulations apply. Because companies like the Polygrams and the EMIs and all these things, they have never operated in Ghana. So a lot of the people operating in our space were just doing it like selling Banche and Bordier. And that is the reason why, even up to date, it's only recently that things are changing because of new ways of doing things. You go to Europe, anywhere in the West, Ghanaian music was sold at where they sell Kobe and Akrantie, this African shop.
African
that is
markets.
Where Ghanaian music was sold. Ghanaian industry has never been operated in the mainstream. You see, so let me come back. When we talk about producers, which type of producer are we talking about? Because we have executive producers and we have technical producers. Right now, even when people talk, a sound engineer wants to force himself to be a producer. There's a clear distinction between a sound engineer and a producer. Because the work of a producer, he liaises between the artist's work and the market. Because music as a product, every music must be produced to suit a specific market. If you remember, when we were young, we used to call, if any music that has a lot of highs, we used to call it Twitter.
Tutors.
Tutors. When the music is playing and it's going, that was the kind of sound Ghana
tutors.
Exactly. So when you mix a song and you don't get that kind of stuff,
Sound in it.
The same way, when you go to like UK market, if your bass is too heavy,
they don't like
it. But when you go to continental Europe, because there's market, the UK market and the continental European market, if the bass is not solid,
they wanted heavy bass.
So there are different productions to suit different markets. So this is where a producer comes in. If in a country where the music industry operates, the record label will contract a producer to liaise between the studio or whatever to get them the type of sound they needed, because this producer may have had a track record that any works he touches becomes a hit.
Right.
Typical example, Quincy Jones and Michael Jackson. So producers, some specific producers clicks with a specific artist.
Right.
So if that producer touches that artist's works, it becomes a hit.
Right.
So music production is a career on its own that people train themselves how to be able to bring out the best in artists, the best technology in terms of sound or whatever that will suit a specific market. So these are the works of a producer. So previously, when you go to any studio, there is an in-house sound engineer.
Back then,
even up to today. I'm talking about the global market. As for Ghana, we just want to do anything anyhow.
I want us to look at Ghana because
Ghana.
That's why I asked you how the experience was back in the day.
Back in the day, you used to go to studio. There is an in-house engineer, like Ghana Films.
Right.
There's Mr. Kwache. If you go to Elephant Walk Studio, there is a Mr. Brown and other Sami Halwani. They were there. If you want Sami Halwani to produce you, apart from him being a sound engineer, you have to discuss with Sami Halwani that I want you to produce it for me. Then it gives him an extra control over the work.
Right.
So the producer will suggest, let's do it this way. This one is not right. Let's do it that way. So then he's playing two roles, a sound engineer and a producer.
Right.
But you can also go there as a producer. You know your work. You know exactly what you want.
Right.
You go with the musicians. You have arranged your work already. Sami will just sit behind the console, record it, and after he's finished with the recording, he does the mixing. And even with the mixing, you, the producer, sitting with him, no, I don't like it this way.
Right.
I don't want this.
Right.
Bring the highest bit.
Right.
I want a little bottom. So. Then when he finishes it, it's done. He has played the role as a sound engineer. But then if Sami is a producer, you may not necessarily want to even sit with him because you're giving him the power, or you're giving him, you trusted his judgment, so he can leave the mixing for him to do it for you. So these are the things that Ghanaians did not understand. And as for the business side of it, we did not understand it at all. So it got to a point where I saw sound engineers who are also doubling as producers, who are also doubling as co-writers, doing all this work for artists and charging them some huge figures. So you don't know whether the money the guy is charging is a studio fee, or he's charging as a producer, or he's charging as a sound engineer. So somebody will say, if I do one song, I'll take 3,000. We have people in Ghana who are taking 3,000 by producing a song. So the question you will ask that this 3,000 you are taking me, I come as an artist, I don't know anything. All I come with some lyrics on a sheet. I say, Charlie, man, beat. So you go and you create the beat, and you play some grooves, whatever, it means you've created a song. You've composed the song. Then the guy comes, you direct him. Okay, so Charlie rap. Then the guy puts his lyrics into the work. So you are using your studio equipment. You are the sound engineer. You have co-written the song. The guy brings his lyrics. But because you don't know, you just charge him some round figure. And then the guy takes the music and go. It is recently that people are beginning to realize that, and they Jimmy, because now a lot of people are beginning to realize that, no, I mean, we made a mistake. So it's not too late. We have to go back to the basics and do what is right. This thing I've been speaking about it over and over and over. But see, it is easier when somebody is collecting the money now. If you tell the person what you're doing is wrong, charge whatever you have to charge and keep your rights on the song. They don't like it. They want the money now. So you can't eat your cake and have it. So that is what is actually happening. Now you go about split sheets. Anywhere in the world, there are forms, standard forms, that in studios or every artist of a sort, every producer of a sort must have a split sheet with him in relation to the collective management or whatever it is that he belongs to. So he put it down. I remember that I did a production in Switzerland, Montreal studio. The studio was owned by Fred Mercury. And the same producer who produced Michael Jackson, Blood on the Dance Floor, Dave Richards, he produced the song. As soon as I entered the studio, I said, Rex, I'm only going to touch your work unless I take a percentage of the song.
Straight.
He put a split sheet, we signed everything, and then he spent 30 days on one song.
One song?
30 days. And when I heard the song, I understood why he wanted the points on the song. You see, so these are some of the things. But Ghana here, everybody wants everything for himself. The artist wants everything for himself.
Is it because they don't know, or it is a deliberate attempt to keep things to themselves? Because look, if I know that, Charlie, I go on stage, I'm paid, let's say, 10,000 Ghana cedis. I keep 10,000 per performance or per the agreement we've had. If you have 30%, I keep, and if let's say you're supposed to have 3,000, I keep my 70, you take your 30.
No, it doesn't even go that way. That's not.
No, I'm using it as an example.
I just want us to put it in the right context.
Okay.
This right that the producer may have on the song has nothing to do with your performance as an artist. It has to do with the copyright of the song. So if you go and perform somewhere, the money that goes to the collective management organization, that is where the copyright issues comes in.
Right.
But if you go and perform as an artist, you've performed, you've paid for the performance. The song that you performed, that is the money that the collective management organizations take. So when they take for the rights of using the song, then the producer and the copyright owners split the money based on the split sheets. You understand what I'm saying? So this is the whole situation. It is based on ignorance. People did not understand how the music industry operates. And up till today, I can assure you that 90% of the people operating in this Ghana music industry still do not understand the way the music or recording industry operates. That is why you hear everybody talking, complaining and talking. And because we start the journey without understanding, we jump into the water before we can think whether we will swim or not. That is what is happening.
Right. Thank you very much, Rex. Well, let me get to you, Beats Menace. I'm sure you've been listening to Uncle Rex.
Yeah, I have.
Uh-huh.
I have.
What's your take on it?
I do agree we have a huge knowledge gap, and I feel it has made the abuse or the neglect, of some of the things that we need to hold dear as far as intellectual property is concerned relating to music. We just let it, pass by. We don't take it seriously. And you would have a lot of persons who have contributed to some groundbreaking work in Ghana live in abject poverty and die. I mean, there's this normalized conversation that we usually have in this part of the world of the broke creative. I mean, so you'd have a lot of parents who don't necessarily want their children to practice any creative discipline. But you see, being Ghanaian, living in Ghana is a bittersweet thing. Why? Because I feel Ghana and Ghanaians, we are really blessed. As a country, as a people, we don't really have to carry the headaches of what certain people elsewhere around the world have to deal with. Certain things like earthquakes and tsunamis, and there are some countries where even with all the technological advances, like when certain things happen, it just happens. There's nothing you can do about it. It's usually called an act of God. But we have lots of challenges and problems in our space here, and all of it is man-made, which is ironic. Like if you, think about it. Look at some of the stuff a lot of countries around the world have to deal with. We don't have any of those challenges in Ghana, yet nothing works in this country. Every single thing in Ghana is man-made, and a majority of that stems from ignorance or the unwillingness of certain people to do the right thing even if they know. I know of certain artists who know about split sheets. They won't tell the producer to sign.
Why?
I can't speak for them. But you see, the onus also lies on the practitioner of every discipline or practice. You owe it to yourself, especially in this day and age of information. It's too expensive to be ignorant about certain things when there's Google out there. You understand what I'm saying? I don't think any of us would like to employ the services of a plumber who shows up without a wrench or who has no knowledge about plumbing. But somehow, some way, when you take the same scenario and you apply it to an artist or a musician, it is perfectly passable. I can't believe the number of times somebody showed at my door because maybe they had to play a guitar part or whatever, and they didn't even own their own guitar. How would you treat a medical doctor who doesn't own his own stethoscope? It doesn't make sense, but somehow, some way, when you apply it in a creative context, it's accepted in our space. So I do agree that knowledge gap is a thing, and we need to change it. And in the last couple of years, personally, I have invested heavily in advocacy and education. I have a lot of conversations with a lot of up-and-coming people, a lot of established artists and musicians.
Yesterday, King of Accra mentioned how you used to school him on these things.
Yeah, we met when he was on campus, because I lived on Legon campus.
Yes.
So this was probably 2009. I think I even gave him a book on music business, at the time. And I think it's important. Because you see, we have been playing around for too long. One day it will be saying. There's a reason why we have a brain to think, analyze issues, but we have limbs, we have 2 legs, 2 hands to do more, to enact whatever it is that we think about. And that's what, for whatever reason, in this part of the world, we don't seem to be doing a lot of. But everywhere else around the world is moving. Spotify just launched in Ghana. Yet, there are certain professional organizations that should have a seat at the table to even determine what a streaming rate in our territory should be. It doesn't exist. So you realize that when we don't do the deep work and we keep having all these technological advances, it actually further disenfranchises rights owners and the people who it's supposed to be empowering. The problem with a lot of African countries, and specifically Ghana, is we are quick to embrace technology without necessarily doing the deep work on the back end. You can't leapfrog. If I am a rich guy right now and I have a passion for Ferraris, and I live in some place in Aburi without accessible roads, I can buy as many Ferraris as I want, but I can't drive it. What's the use? It's stupid. You see the analogy I'm trying to create? So we keep dilly-dallying around salient or pertinent issues and trying to leapfrog without tackling those issues head on to solve them once and for all. And you see, there's something crazy happening globally. The paradigm of the music business is shifting. Music is evolving, right? There are certain disparities even in the West that are being looked at critically right now. I'll give a classic example is Spotify, which is a streaming service. They are being probed in British Parliament as we speak. And I didn't find it surprising that all of a sudden you wake up one day, they made an announcement, they've extended into 82 African markets. I see it as a fail-safe measure. Because the thing is, The British Parliament is probing them. And people in the West realize that the primary way people consume music today is through streaming. Yet the streaming module didn't come full circle before it became the norm. Spotify has the largest body of digital works for streaming, right? Now, the important thing people do not know is in a span of 10 months, when the pandemic started, the worth of Spotify tripled in value. Spotify is now worth 64 billion US dollars. But here's what's crazy. They had an IPO, they went public, they were listed on the stock exchange, and their perceived value, a chunk of it, came from the combined works that is on the platform. The billions they generated didn't trickle down to the rights owners. And some countries are like, no, you can't do this. We need to look at this. Now the pandemic is a thing. Artists can't tour. We need to dissect how your business model works. If we find it to be unsatisfactory, because a lot of people, in fact, on 15th of this month, there's going to be a massive boycott across North America against Spotify. Yes, it's online. You can Google and check it out. And that's a place where systems work. So they are being probed in Parliament. If their practices are not updated or changed, they will be kicked out. And they are running to Africa. An even worse system is Audiomack. When Audiomack came, they had a lot of Ghanaian artists used as poster children for. Audiomack's payout is even way less than Spotify.
There's no payout actually.
In fact, there's no.
Yeah, it's crazy.
There's no payout.
And that's what you see. Everybody wants a chunk of the African market because right now we are hot once again. I said once again because this is not the first time it's happened. We just keep going in circles. But we are the ones who don't seem to place value on what we do. There's a popular joke I crack amongst friends that, you know, when you wear the jeans, there's a small pocket here. It's for streaming royalties or streaming revenue. You know what I mean? So we need to take these issues seriously because we live in a global market. Okay? In as much as what we do, listen, some of our artists who have really taken Ghanaian music far didn't even sing in English. Look at the likes of Ibu Taylor. Kelly Rowland put out a new record recently, Black Magic. That sampled Ibu Taylor.
Yeah.
I worked on the back end to help facilitate the clearing for the label. And that record was recorded in like 74 or something. Yeah. And they've given that work a new lease of life. They're exposing it to a younger generation, to a more global audience. But most importantly, it's helping to dictate a new sound. The issues a lot of artists have with record producers, the term record producers is not too accurate in itself because that's just but a fraction of what these guys do. They are actual composers because they compose the beat. They are also arrangers because a lot of the contemporary urban music we do today, the person sitting behind the laptop who is banging out those beats, he's arranging the music, and he's also performing the role of a record producer. So that's three things happening at the same time. These are very distinct roles, but they're sort of related.
And
you know what I mean?
Even makes a master after everything.
Yeah, sometimes it makes a master. So they're now taking on the role of an engineer as well. You know? So even with the splits, a properly set out split sheet would not only determine the names of the persons who have contributed to the creation of the work, but the relative percentages that would accrue to a total of 100% of the work, but also specifically the exact tasks each person has done.
Hold on for me. I'll get to 7 pretty soon, but before I leave you or I'll let you go, this split sheet, yesterday I asked, and I will ask again today.
Yeah.
I don't know who didn't listen yesterday. So, can I just go to Rexoma and say, Uncle Charlie, you get split sheet for there? Oh yeah, I get some. Then do a copy for me. Or I go to any printing press, Charlie, for producer, for way, for a composer, I just print it out and I come to you. I say, Bidman is Charlie, split sheet, sign. Is that how it is? Or I must be assigned to a publishing institution or a management before I get access to it. Yesterday, I was reading on the internet and they had samples, plenty of them, publishing. So I was like, hey, Charlie, now this thing is not small like that. So you need to read more. In fact, it was Charlie, plenty pages. I got tired and I walked off. My brain.
It gets boring.
Yeah. So actually, you want
Okay,
to
so
answer
some-
that? You
It
want
was,
to answer
was
that?
for
Yes.
7, right?
No,
What that was for me? Okay, sorry.
Oh, if
It goes
17
incorrect since he is. I'm sure they deal with split sheets so he can start and then.
I think that you have answered the question yourself. I mean, there are standard forms of split sheets that cast across all the collective management organizations. So, for example, even if you don't belong to any society, which as a composer or a producer, you must belong to a collective management. It's very important. Unless maybe you have signed to a bigger publishing company. But split sheets, you can get a sample of a split sheet. For example, if somebody says, Rex, I want you to come and perform. Previously, you have to go to a lawyer or entertainment lawyer to look for a performance contract. But these days, they are all over the place. You Google, you can get different samples from different territories and whatever. And then you can use one that suits you.
Well, so this is what I have. Oh, I had yesterday. Song publishing split sheets. My listeners, please pay attention to this. Uncle Rex, sorry to cut you in. Do I have your permission to continue, please?
Oh, yes, why not?
Thank you. So, song publishing split sheets, each songwriter and composer or producer gets a copy of the fully completed sheet. Well, there are too many spaces, so I may not be able to read all of them. However, I'll try. Song title, date. Now with the date, list day song was composed and written. List each day if more than one. Recording band, artist, label if any. Studio name, studio address, studio phone number, samples, yes, no, circle one. Album and artist sampled. That is if it is someone's work. Writer number 1, address, phone, publishing company. List any third-party publishing companies and their information if it applies. So you have spaces about publishing percentage. Affiliation, ASCAP, BMI, CESAC. Second one, ownership, lyrics, music, list of ownership in each instance. Writer, composer, signature, CAE, social security number, birth date. Charlie, these things are no joke. Then it comes to writer number 2, same procedure. Split sheet provided by A1 Entertainment. Writer number 3, writer number 4, writer number 5. So it goes on and on and on. But at the tail end, it says, note, on a 200% publishing pie like the one BMI uses, producers is equal to 100%. And songwriters is equal to 100%. For example, if there are 2 producers or composers and 3 songwriters, the producers receive 50% each from the producer's pie, while the 3 writers receive 33.33% each. So that's it.
Exactly. So that is how it is all over the world. And then it is based on this that any royalty distribution happens from.
Right.
So as my younger brother is saying, I mean, I must congratulate him because this is the first time I've met a Ghanaian producer speaking knowledgeably about the industry. If we have had people like him teaching the rest of the young people, we will go a lot. I mean, we will go very far. So I'm pleading with Ghanaian musicians, producers, whatever. Before you enter any business, at least find out what it is. Most of our people do not enter the music game. They don't look at it as a business. Otherwise, any serious-minded business person, if you're entering any business circle or you are doing any project, first you do feasibility.
You have to check.
You have to check that this thing I want to get involved, is it viable? Then you check as to your positioning. Why should people stop buying Shatawale's music and come for mine? Where is your strength? Does your strength lie in production, in composition, in performance, whatever? All these things must be checked. But if you just enter like wannabe, then there's a problem. Because you can sit here in Ghana, this gentleman can sit here in Ghana and do a work, and because of his knowledge about the industry, the work can end up in Japan, wherever, and he will get his money like any other person anywhere in the world, because systems have changed. But you see what he's telling you. Now Ghana, I hear people embracing Spotify is in Ghana. Spotify is in Ghana. Why is Spotify in Ghana? Why weren't they here previously? Because in African territory, nothing works.
So you can come.
You can come and do whatever you like. By the time we realize,
No matter why are they now coming?
let me come back on something. You see, what did he say? Did he say? UK Parliament is probing. Have you ever heard our Parliament discussing anything about our industry before? Look, there are some tariffs that are supposed to be set by the state. If you go to US, it's the Library of Congress that sets the tariff for the music users to pay to the collective management organizations. Here, who set the tariff? No one. Under normal circumstance, the tariff must be set by the Copyright Office of Ghana. But you don't have a tariff. So we have a problem, and the problem doesn't stem from only even the practitioners. The whole state. We need to take these copyright issues very serious, because this modern day development is driven by creativity. And the earlier we get this to our coconuts, the better it will be for this country.
All right, Seven, let me come to you.
Yeah.
Right, you've not spoken.
Yes. Uncle Rex just said something. We need to take the copyright very serious. But I have a relationship with most of the quote unquote underground boys. B Menace and I have been educating them for years now. Even King of Accra. I remember the first time I met him. He was on campus too, and we had a talk. So I thought, when he started his career in music, he would use it. But trust me, none of them use it until they hit a brick wall. And they definitely one day call you back and ask you, what did you say the other time? Oh, I now understand it. 10 years later, and it makes sense now. I have at least over 200 boys that I talk to, like on a WhatsApp group, daily, telling them how things are moved. Things are changing so much, but they are just stuck in the moment of how they do it. There's some people will tell you, I just want to rap. Nothing else. Like, I don't want to know anything else. I just want to rap. And I look at them like, I would love to take advantage of you, but I'm not that person. But another question that I've had for the past couple of days is, Seven, I beg, if we sign the split sheets, what next? And I get confused. I don't really know what to tell them, because really, Gumroad should be working for split sheets to work. You can sign a split sheet, and then really you can possibly take it and use it for go and buy granules with it, because it won't work. Why? Because they need to make royalties. They need to have their songs being tracked. Look at artists, right? And even labels. If I was a label, I've run a label before actually. I used to, Chase was my label back in the day. And you use money to shoot videos, promotions, and everything. But then the thing with every business, you should be able to project what you get back. Royalties is a good way to project what I'll get back. And looking at that, I'll pay payola, or I'll go the extra mile to get my artists to be played on radio, on Joy and Hitz, because I know when these stations play my music, I'll get X amount of money. So I can even budget that I will not go over this amount, because I know my returns will not be past that amount, or my projected returns. Of course, there's show money, and there's this and this, and there's some other things that will come along. But in traditional record label agreements, record labels are not even supposed to take show money from artists, merchandise from artists. But now people are signing 360 because everything is so different now. But then if the sheets are signed, there's no money to get anyway. So now the boys will say, I beg, I want some money now. And I don't blame them. Because the truth is, Uncle Rex, how much do you usually pay for royalties to the artists? I think it's twice a year, right? It's not quarterly.
Twice a year.
How much would you think an average artist gets?
You see, let me explain.
A-list artists.
Let me. There's nothing like A-list artist or at any given time. If we were doing logging,
this issue they go bring.
If we're doing,
no, because the split sheets is really useless to discuss if it does not go into royalties.
No. Right. Let me explain something to you.
That's very true.
Yeah, it makes no sense. You didn't discuss it if it doesn't go to okay. How do I make money? Because Yeah, we can. I'm signed to PRS. He said you're signed to one in Germany or
In Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Yeah, so we talk different, if we have to get royalties. But if the boys are here, they don't have social security numbers to get, they'll forget it from our side, or don't have some girlfriend out there who would use their information to register for them, they're stuck with Gumroad. So how do we make Gumroad work?
Good.
And the question is, how many of these young people have even assigned to Gumroad? That's the problem. See, so the whole situation is, Gumroad is a growing concern, just like any aspect of our industry. Right now, as we stand, it is just now that we are able to even negotiate with a foreign company to help Gumroad get to where it's supposed to get to in terms of the logins and blah, 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 and blah, blah, because there is no support from anywhere. The law that establishes Gumroad binds your hands. It says, okay, the money you don't have, whatever you collect, don't spend more than 30%.
Okay.
The rest, distribute. Distribute how? Based on what are you going to distribute? You need to distribute based on split sheets and logs and whatever. You don't have these things.
So let me ask Andy. Andy, so any chance the radio station logs anything, or it's free for all?
For now, it's free for all.
Wow.
Let me explain to you. So the whole situation, the law, actually,
The law requests that we log.
The radio
we
stations
record.
So you are breaking the law then.
everybody is
Yeah,
breaking the
everyone.
law. So the radio stations you're talking about, I mean, I'm happy that you said if your music is played on here and here, then you know that at least you get some money.
Yeah.
Who said so? 90% of music users in Ghana are not paying.
Why?
They are not. So
Are they not paying, or you're not going after them?
They
'Cause that's
are
two
not
different things.
they are not paying, because even if you go after them, you end up spending money to take them to court. As I'm talking to you, we are in court with the 4 telcos in Ghana. We have been in court for 4 years.
Till now, still.
Yes, this is Ghana for you. We are in court with the biggest state broadcaster, GBC. We are in court with them for
But
7
the
years.
funny thing is, the telcos are still using the music.
Exactly.
So
the
you
question-
stop them from using the
How
music.
do
But
you
that's
stop
why
them?
they are in court.
How do you stop them? You only stop them when you go to court.
Did you give them a license to use the music?
They don't even have a license.
So you see where the problem is. Then
So
we
the
need
problem, you cannot, you see, people just get up and blame the small Gumroad that is trying to do something. But the problem is far bigger than Gumroad. The problem is the state called Ghana.
Okay. So I'm not a lawyer, but I'm thinking if you go to court, they'll probably ask you, do you have evidence of what music they've used?
Of course, of
Or
course.
what music?
Because all of them are documented.
Or what music the radio stations are using? Because they're not logging.
Let me tell you something. All radio stations like the one we're sitting in right now
Yeah.
cannot tell us that they are not using music.
But are they even paying? That's
That's the question.
not paying.
Some of them pay. I mean, multimedia
yes,
pay,
yes.
but sometimes we have to drag them to court before they pay. It's not as if.
Serious.
It's not as if. Look, if I list the most well-established radio media houses in Ghana, that sometimes you have to spend money, the money that we don't have, spend to pay lawyers to drag them to court. Then the last minute that they know they don't have a case, then they hardly come and pay something. They pay something.
Do you take the something or?
You don't. It's like elsewhere. They will say, okay, give us 10% or 5% of your gross annual income. Ghana, we haven't gotten there yet. No. You don't even have a tariff. That is the problem.
You see,
I personally think is if the fact that you can't even log, you're not logging to tell them you've played 1 million songs over this period, and then when you see these numbers, it will make sense. But you come to me and tell me, oh, pay this, and you can't tell me how much music I've used.
No. Let me explain
It
something
almost
to you.
doesn't make sense for me to
No,
pay.
you are going wrong. Let me explain something to you.
Sorry, you know, I tuned into a radio station. Was it 2 weeks ago? Then they were playing Stonebwoy song. Stonebwoy song. I think they played about 3 back to back. Stonebwoy. I tuned into the radio station because someone had called to tell me that they played my new song 1K.
With Kitty, oh?
Yeah, with Kitty and Yo.
Okay.
So, you know, I tuned in. Probably I'll hear them play it. They didn't play. On my way to work, just as I got here, as I was parking my car, the call came in again. Are you listening? I'm like, no, I'm even late for work. I asked why. Said, they're playing your song. Like, oh, really? Let me tune in. But looking at the time and tuning into here, I mean, but the question is, what do I get?
First of all, did you sign split sheets?
No.
See, so the whole situation is, let me explain something. So collective management systems works differently. We don't go to radio stations or music users and charge them based on how many times they've played music.
That is very unfair to
Neighbor,
record labels
neighbor.
and artists.
No, hold on. It's not only in Ghana. It doesn't pertain only in Ghana, please. We should understand this. It's different from when you're logging from, say, digital platforms and Spotify and all that. That is different. But collective managements, they charge on blanket. So, for example,
Which ones?
Most of the developing ones, and then even some of the
Because
well-developed ones.
PRS, BMI, they don't, because they actually put out stats on how many plays, let's say, Ed Sheeran got and how much money they made. They put that out, and depending on which one you belong to, or they have their stars, and they always like keep the numbers are up
But
for everybody to see.
Seven, do you think we are there
You
yet?
see?
Yes, we can, but Uncle Rex and his people are not making it happen.
No, you are
There
you are
is
making
a
a big
system
mistake.
to log in.
You are making
Easy.
a big mistake. Let me
How,
explain
how
to you.
easy? Do you know why I'm asking how
Because
easy?
I can give you reports tomorrow of what you've been playing for the past 3 months.
And you think we don't have that?
So then why you don't log in?
But you see, the question is, you.
Which system do you use, by the way?
There are so many systems around the globe,
Which one do you use?
and I'm saying that Gamro has not officially come out and say this is the system we're using. But
So I'm asking you now on air. You can,
No.
You can tell
I
us.
think no, Seven. I think you've not been anyway. If you've not been following, that's fine. But
No, I've been following. No,
they've been on this fight for so long.
No, it's not a fight.
Remember, no. I mean, I'm not talking about fighting as in fight. I mean, they've had this challenge.
It's not a challenge. That's what I'm
is a
saying.
challenge.
It is
Because
not
I
a challenge.
remember when
Ask Uncle Rex, does he know good music?
Yes, yeah, I
see,
just mentioned
please don't
good.
go there. Don't go. You see, you guys try to. Let me finish before you come in. You guys try to simplify things.
Because things
Wait.
are so simplified in digital age.
It's not.
Things are that
it's
easy.
not the way you think. Collective management doesn't work the way you think.
No, it
Because-
does work the way we think.
See, so then the question is, we've met with good music, we've met with Kissima, we've met with. Look, if I'm going to build a house, and I'm looking for a mason, you just don't go and stand outside because everybody is saying he can he can build a house, and you go and give him
The
the contract to go and build. What is the track record of good music? Has they logged for any CMO before? So if we want to fix the problem once and for all, you deal with companies that have track record, who have done it before with the established CMOs before, so that when you get them, you get it once and for all. So the whole situation is, there's so many programs that can log from what we are playing, okay? But they don't bring you the DNA, the info. They just log, this station play this music this time and blah, 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 and that's it.
But is that not enough?
It's not enough.
That is enough.
Can I?
Because if they were dealing with these
At least
artists,
it's a start.
yes, they're supposed to get a split sheet. So when you get that information, you can compare.
Let me say something.
Nothing is perfect, like he said, but we can start somewhere.
Let me say something. I personally feel, these are my personal opinions, and I want to substantiate with facts, okay? I feel some of these issues could have been rectified long ago, even before download and streaming, right? There's a company called Nielsen, right? They've been in Ghana for a long time. This company was established in the US in the 1920s, right? They've been in Ghana for almost, I think, 30 years or so, right? They are around Gulf House on your way to Legon, the highway from 37 towards Legon on your left hand side, Gulf House. Then they there, right? Nielsen has a product called SoundScan that is tailor made for tracking
Sounds
music.
good. Okay.
When I started out in music and I was researching, this must have been around 2003. When I realized Nielsen had an office in Ghana, I went there to ask how I could benefit from SoundScan, at least to track CDs and that sort of thing. Because at that time, that's the only way music was. I mean, even downloads weren't like really the established norm. You know what I mean? And the lady I spoke to there laughed and said, the framework is not being provided for us to even integrate such a system. So if the right things were done even then, if somebody goes to Accra Mall to buy a copy of Aigbe Edem's song and you go to the till to pay for that CD, and they use the laser whatever to read a barcode, it goes straight to their system that at 3 p.m. such and such a person has made one purchase of the album. So I feel that sometimes in Ghana we have too many excuses.
Thank you.
The National Communications Authority that issues licenses to radio stations has it as part of their bylaws that you guys have to log. Why isn't it being enforced? So the fact that we're actually sitting here in 2021 discussing some of these issues is very sad. It's really, really sad. So from the time of tangible media, of cassettes and CDs, we could have even been logging, right? We could have been accounting for physical sales. The global standard. Listen, when you go online and you read that Drake has sold such and such millions of copies in his first day, it's Nielsen SoundScan that is collecting that data. And they've been in Ghana for over 30 years. What excuse do we have?
Because we don't have an industry. We don't.
That is a lie. Also, I just really don't. Aspire to that.
With that, you can't use that word.
You
okay.
see.
Sorry, thank you.
Okay, but I have a different opinion. I'm not saying it's a lie, but I have a different opinion about that. If that's acceptable,
I think even the Professional Musicians Union and the CMOs and the PROs in Ghana, if any, were actually formed on the premise. I think it even happened by chance and not out of necessity. And that may have explained the lax attitude in general that we have towards intellectual property and also monetization. There was a semblance of it. It wasn't like it didn't have like a proper structure or legal charter, but it only became a thing after Paul Simon did that sample and came to Ghana with a lump sum trying to find the owner.
Right.
And they told him...
Did he come to Ghana or they summoned him to come and pay?
They didn't summon him to pay.
Well, that's what I heard.
No.
You see,
when you use somebody's work, you see, let me give you an example. This Ebo Taylor thing that was sampled right now. In sampling, you are taking an original recording and incorporating it into a derivative work, a new work, right? So all those who were original copyright holders of the sample become co-owners in the new composition. Right. So you might see writer Kelly Rowland, Ebo Taylor and him go there inside.
Yeah, sure.
You understand? So elsewhere where systems work, you can't just lift somebody's music and start using it. No, he had to do he was someone. How did you know he had done the album when it wasn't yet released? That's a lie. So when the money came, certain person saw that, oh, Adi, bit me iska. And then these societies were formed.
That's not true. That's not right. I mean, when this thing happened, there was COSGA. You cannot say these societies were formed because of that.
No. I did say there was a semblance of it, but without a proper legal charter.
No, there was a legal charter. Because if we are talking, we should talk based on facts.
Right.
There was a copyright law 110 that established COSGA. It was a quasi government. It was being managed by the Copyright Office of Ghana. And it was there before this
The Paul Simon
thing happened. The reason why Gamro, ASOG, and Copy Ghana came out of COSGA was because we felt that government is managing our rights, and most of the people there was no accountability, there was no AGM, there was nothing, So we said, no, these are private rights. So why don't you rather empower the private right owners to form their own societies while you regulate it? Regulate. That's how it happens everywhere. So that is how come they changed the law and then gave birth to Gamro, Copy Ghana, and ASOC.
Okay.
So Copy Ghana, Gamro belongs to us. That's why I keep telling the young people that with all this, your knowledge, you are the people who are supposed to be part of Gamro and develop it, because you are talking about ASCAP and these people. They've run for hundreds of years. They've gone through the same teething problems we are going through. If you have an organization and the organization belongs to the right owners, and most of the right owners will stand outside the wall throwing stones, whilst with their knowledge they can enter and pick up and run with it. That is the difficulty Gamro is facing. If you come to Gamro right now and we explain everything to you right now, it will make sense to you. Say, oh, okay, I didn't know this, I didn't know that. But we use what is happening in Europe and in America and whatever, and then expect Gamro to be there right now. It is not possible. We will get there faster than they got where they are now, but we will not. Gamro is just 6 years old. And if I tell you the difficulties and the legal difficulties that we have, it will shock you.
Uncle Rex, can I say something?
Yes.
I think it's unfair to say you have young people who don't want to be part of Gamro. I personally, I can speak for myself and setting other persons. Mm-hmm. When Kojo was the chair, Uncle Zap was there. In fact, that was the first time I'd met Uncle Zap in person. I'm a co-founder of an organization known as the Audio Engineers and Producers Association. It was a professional organization.
I've heard your name, yes.
Now, just because some of its membership, its members, and a core of its membership are persons who are legitimate rights owners. In fact, in our inaugural launch in 2015 at Plus 233 Jazz Bar and Grill, AJ Abraham was there. He was invited there. I personally have been part of 2 closed-door meetings to try and outline certain things that can potentially be looked at, tweaked to make the running more effective. I think at this point, because we have sat on the sidelines, we've seen things go wrong without it being fixed. Sometimes it takes somebody from the outside to see certain things from a different perspective and much more clearly to help offer suggestions for change. Some of those things that were logged under the meeting were never effected.
You see?
And in the last, King of Accra was here yesterday. He attested to that. I personally, I can speak for myself. Almost every year, out of my own pocket, I make sure I make time. I organize training workshops free of charge. I've bought books for more than 80 people on the music business. Almost every other day, people are in my DMs on social media and all that stuff. And I'm kicking knowledge to people because I know what it feels like to be thirsty for knowledge and not have avenue for. I'm not saying these things to big myself up. But I've realized that in my own small corner, I can make change, no matter how small. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that statement was a little unfair because there are some people who are doing a lot behind the scenes to enact change.
But do you also believe that there are some people who don't even want to associate with it?
Absolutely.
So then
what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely. But can you blame them? Because the systems are not working.
The systems who should make it work? It is you. Look, when we came, in our days, let me explain something to you so people will understand it clearly. In our days when we came, the collective management system in Ghana was far worse than it is now. But you know why? As we complained, we put our hands on the wheel to help to fix systems. And it's through our advocacy and blah, blah, blah that laws were changed. It was through our advocacies that Gamro has become what it is, no matter how inefficient it may be. It is a journey. Right now, as we sit, in a week or two, Gamro is going to launch a new phase of Gamro that we brought people from Canada, some American company, blah, blah, blah. I can't talk plenty here. But the whole situation is, if all of us get our hands on the wheel, you can only make a change within. You can't change without, because you have to be within to know the actual problems of Gamro. As you sit outside, all you can see is Gamro is inefficient. That is right. You have the right to say that. But when you get inside, you get to know that, okay, oh, now I understand. Oh, now I understand. So that's what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that you haven't been teaching people outside.
It's not just me alone.
Not you alone. A lot of the young people, nobody, I'm a very hard critic. I criticize Kosga up to today. That's why we are where we are.
Oh,
I had a famous story about you and your cuddlers.
Exactly. So I'm just saying that.
Did you ever hear it, Andy?
I'm just saying that.
Which one?
I'm just saying that.
I'll tell you after.
With all your passion and your energy, Gamro belongs to you. If you get involved with Gamro, things will change faster. As much as we are trying, the thing is, you can't force a change.
Uncle Rex, when was the last time Gamro had like a tete-a-tete with industry stakeholders to break down how the music industry works, for instance?
It is not Gamro's work. You see the thing?
No, I know.
Let me finish so you understand. You see, the way Gamro is structured, until maybe laws change, the way Gamro is structured, we can perhaps do a meeting once in a year. And even some of these meetings, when you call, trust me, The people who came to the meeting, after they want you to feed them, they want you to give them transportation, they want you to do this, they want you to do that with the money you don't have. And if you are not careful, these same people will turn and come and say they are chopping our money. That is the problem.
Incorrect. Let me say this.
So that is why people like you help.
Incorrect. Let me say this. Last night I was on a Zoom meeting that was organized by the Alliance for Change.
Oh, yeah, it should have been there. It was really good.
It was
good
really,
meeting.
really good.
Yeah. Andy,
Right?
sorry we didn't invite
A
you.
lot
Should
of
have.
people,
Sway, we had Sway, Cindy Okwako,
a
everybody
lot
was
of
there.
people tuned. It was
okay,
crazy.
okay. I was invited.
Rabakari.
I was
invited,
I was-
You invite, and you didn't come.
Reggie and Bolly.
Reggie and Bolly,
They
we
invited
have-
me. No, I had a VGMA board meeting.
Oh,
So I
come on.
was-
This was more important.
Hey,
No, I think Richie was supposed to have been there, and he also said,
Yeah,
he had a meeting. I was a guest speaker on there. It was really insightful. And listen, there are a lot of people who are waiting and want to see change. The reason I'm saying this is I do understand it is not in your scope of duties, but unfortunately, I would have to make an unfair statement to the organization. It's not an attack on your person, please.
No, that's not.
I like your music too much. When we finish, we'll talk studio time. This will happen. But you see, I don't think we are at a place where we have earned a right to say advocacy and education is not part of it, because that is the core problem. It's a core problem because people need to know that there's a lax in systems media entities operating. People need to know their rights and the scope of their work and what they are naturally entitled to, so they can even hold these bodies accountable, because it puts pressure on them to put pressure on the government and regulatory bodies to ensure that the work is done. If private funded entities, I don't have money. Charlie, me coffee, me Jimmy, both sika crowd. Me who watch it. You see, if we can organize things like that to empower people and to give them information, how much more a whole national entity? Something can be done.
Let me explain something to you so you will understand. You see, if you have an entity, an organization that every day is being lambasted in the media space, even this Alliance for Change, when
But these days we actually stop bashing.
no, let me
really friendly now.
let me explain something so you understand. You see, anytime we are bashing Gamro, we think we are attacking somebody. We are attacking ourselves. Because for now, whether you like it or not, Gamro is the only legally mandated collective management organization. So, for example, if you have any energy, if you want any change, if you have come to Gamro and then you have registered grooming, nobody will stop you. But the question is, every now and then, Gamro is being bashed. Is this, is that? So when you call a meeting, people will not even come. And most of the people, we have tried several times. When we call a meeting with the police, the whole nation, all the police people were there. Some time ago, we did with the judges. But the only time that you call meeting that people don't come is when you are calling the stakeholders. Because already Gamro is something that they themselves in their mind, they've destroyed it. You see, you can call and people will come because you are not Gamro.
Okay, yesterday, Ajay Brown was here, Uncle Rex.
Yes.
He made mention of something I found very interesting. He said, undistributed fund. Are you aware of undistributed funds?
I actually my board that established that.
According to him, okay, first of all, what is the undistributed fund?
You see, when you collect monies, as I tell you that even though our distribution is not perfect, we use sample of login. And there are so many people who are not necessarily Gamro members, but we believe that their music is being used in the system. We keep the monies for some time. That is how it happens all over the world. I'll tell you that in this country, there are artists that we ourselves send people to go to them with their forms because it is legal. We can't work for you if you haven't assigned your right to us. You send it to them, they'll not fill it and bring it. Sometimes I call some of them personally and they say, oh, I'll let my boys come. Copyright has nothing to do with your boys. It is your work.
Right.
So if you are so big enough that your own copyright, you want to hand it over to your boys, some of them, their boys will come and fill and put their telephone numbers and their information there. Then later you hear them saying, oh, I haven't received anything from Gamro. By the time you realize, the very boy he sent is the guy collecting the money.
Incorrect. Education.
That's
why I was stressing on the education.
I'm saying that, you see.
Please, I want us to finish this undistributed fund thing, because unfortunately, when Captain mentioned it yesterday, we couldn't get. I hope you were listening. We couldn't even get deeper. Afterwards, I received a lot of messages. People were so concerned about it, and I felt guilty that I didn't probe further. You know, so once Uncle Rex here,
if you're an artist and you want to receive some royalties, it may not be perfect from Gamro. First, you need to be a member of Gamro. Otherwise, you have to be a member of any collective management organization that you want. But as you operate from Ghana, Ghana is your prime market. So register with Gamro so that you can receive some form of royalty, no matter how unperfect it may be. Gamro is not static. Gamro is moving. In a very 1 or 2 years, it will be a completely different ball game altogether.
Okay. Now, this undistributed fund, how much is there?
I cannot sit here and tell you. Because I'm a board chairman. I'm not part of the day-to-day running of Gamro. You know, so if you ask me how much is there, I cannot just have to go and find out and tell you.
Just a quick question. Your what they put out recently? The booklet.
Which one?
The financial statements or so.
Yeah, financial. Yeah.
The financial statement for last year, was it in there by any chance? Was it recorded in there?
The undistributed fund.
Yeah. Was it mentioned in it?
It is part of undistributed royalty. It's part of we have royalty account.
Okay.
So royalty account, undistributed royalties is always in the royalty account. So if you see royalty account, that's
what it is. Okay.
Right. Well, Dead Body just sent me a message. He says, please ask Uncle Rex, is it right to say we need another CMO in Ghana besides Gamro?
If you want, you can, but it doesn't make economic sense, and I'll tell you why. Even with Gamro, you see, people, when we are speaking, people must listen to us attentively. I'm saying that as of today, 90% of music users in Ghana are not paying. The fact that you set another CMO will not change that. So if we have anything to do, we have to rather find out the ways and strategies and support, governmental support and whatever it is that will make music users pay for the music they use. Even if you go and spend, for example, your annual income is, let's say, $1 million or 5 million Ghana cedis, and you want to spend, say, 1 million out of it to get all this login and blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, logs that not necessarily bring in money. Ghana hasn't gotten there yet. Logs only helps us to distribute equitably. So why should I spend 10 cedis to go and say 100 cedis go and chase 10 cedis? These are some of the things. So the fact that you have even PRS, they used to have PRS and they used to have MCPS that was dealing with mechanical royalties. Why have they come together? Because can you imagine that today Gamro comes, I'm coming for royalties. Another CMO comes, I'm coming for royalties. Another CMO comes. Even the one Gamro, they are not paying. And then three CMOs changing. It will be a complete problem. The most important thing is the Gamro that we have for music. Let us all put our energies, our knowledge and whatever to make it what we want it to be. Nobody is stopping anybody. Gamro is open. It's an open door. We run open door policy. For example, tomorrow, if Rexoma is not there, it will not change Gamro overnight. It will not change Gamro overnight. Tomorrow, if all the people who are working Gamro now leave and bring new people, it will not change Gamro overnight because it's a process. The most important thing is we should make sure that the process is working. And as the process is working, other people are also like, that's why I keep saying alliance people.
Good and fine people of alliance.
You can start even with this education because we can't do everything at the same time. So some of us are forcing to make sure that the systems that you've been talking about, we are bringing it in place. For example, ask your people. We gave them the opportunity. When we're looking for people to help us with the login, the technology, we gave Alliance opportunity.
Yes, you did.
Bring yours. Yeah, you know. So we are open. We are not. No door is closed. You know. Please, Gamro is yours. Tomorrow there will be no Rexoma in Gamro, and trust me.
But you're running again for another term. So tomorrow there will be a Rexoma.
No. Tomorrow is not. Tomorrow is not forever.
There's something I want to.
It depends on how you look at it.
Let me quickly read some few comments. Well, I see plenty of them coming in. Let me please get some few comments or tweets. I don't know if you can kindly get me some on Facebook too. Papa Kwesi Wadi says, And I feel back then, producers with high proficiency were scanty, so it seemingly looked like a producer's market. Perhaps because of the fear of future uncertainties, they mostly strike contractual agreements with artists before work starts, unlike now. Okay. He continues to say, now the industry is deluged with lots of producers, and with the mention of split sheets, they feel it may deter artists from recording with them. So they prefer charging exorbitantly, then they oust them from any future benefits, whether there is or not. Kweku Sparrow says, kudos to the legends in the studio. Uncle Rex has said it all. Many of the producers in Ghana became producers accidentally, so they don't learn or do research about their trade. Most of them even heard about split sheets just yesterday. Olasti says, my lesson note is almost full. Oh, hey, I've learned a lot and still learning a lot from the artists and producers right now and how the split sheet works. CG, the rapper, says, Brandy, I think this issue is on because our producers don't learn. How many producers attend workshops? Papa Kwesi already comes back to say, Andy, I also checked some templates of split sheets yesterday on the internet, and trust me, they look very convoluted. I'm so certain many producers here in Ghana had or have little or no idea how it looks like, how it works, and parties involved to validate it. Ricky Buffer says, Andy, the dude is very, very knowledgeable. Ibn Zakobna says, good education for producers and artists on the biggest morning show in Ghana, Daybreak is with Andy Dusty. Okay, thank you. Reggie Boat says, Mr. Andy, I think Uncle Rex should listen to the man. Gamro has been there for years, but don't produce anything better for our musicians. It's time to learn, and I think the man in the studio can help. Too much talk from Uncle Rex. OG Wangana says, my question is, every day we say in our industry is not good. We don't have industry. My question is, who are the people to make the things right? King of Accra says, I've been a beneficiary of Beatmaner's training and teaching programs, and I'm still learning. He is top notch. Hey, big ups to you, Nee. King of Accra. Yesterday, I didn't see you before you left. Adam Fui Avevo, Manifest Manager. He says, great topic for discussion today. Kudos, bro. Here's to the link to the Zoom meeting they're talking at 7, and Bidman is talking about. It was very interesting. But keep sewing, Andy. Adam, thank you very much. I'm so grateful. Black says, Andy, please tell Uncle Rex that I want to help. Tell him Black Kofoidia. Uncle Rex, do you know him? I don't know who he is anyway.
Black. Black, I know Black. If he wants to help, the doors are open. I mean, he knows my number and all that.
But what does he want to help with?
I don't know.
Right. Spago Dana, Mr. Mingo says, the guy should relax for Rex to fully explain from his end so that we'll understand their problems better and address it. Nicholas Ajabi says, please, Andy, I doubt the radio stations are breaking laws when it comes to music logging. The softwares we use, Serato DJs, virtual DJ softwares, automatically log each song we play out. Hence, if Gamro wants the logs for even a year, degenerated into months, it can be made available to them.
Thank you.
Simple. Alex Merlin Brown says, I clear now. So this era, split sheet in Guan. Okay, thank you. Bright Dread says, my question is, do we have producers in Ghana? If we have, what do they do when they notify these mistakes? If we don't have producers, how do we?
What music are you listening to?
Deli Jima says, GH, we have a long way to go, but always refuse to start from somewhere. Okay, so those were some of your comments. Now, yesterday, something came up again. I remember asking Mixmaster Gazi. I want us to look at this before we finish the show. Seven, let me start with you.
Okay.
So why is it that music producers, they sign split sheets with big artists, but budding musicians, you collect money and you let them go? Why?
You see, this is, I'll tell you the truth. There's a quick way to
Be
make
very
money.
honest, too.
Yeah, very honest. I've been very honest since I've been here. The underground musicians are a quick way to make your money, and that applies to the bloggers and the producers. Bloggers, like some bloggers, will take X amount of money from an underground artist to put an article or put their song on your blog, but would actually maybe even go looking for Sarkodie's song to put on there. No charge at all. Zero charge. Same thing with the producers. Pay me or I won't work with you. And they are quick to pay because this guy gave Sarkodie a hit or gave Stonebwoy a hit. and still more in Sarkodis and whoever might not have paid him. So the underground artist is basically the prey. See, the thing is, it's a ladder. Whoever's beneath you, they destroy them somehow, and that's how it works in Ghana. Not just in the music industry, but just overall. That's how it works, you know. And that is the reason that happens, because the A-list that you, the underground artist, think he works with, they're not paying him. He's not making money anyway, anyhow. You know, like there's been a lot of occasions where the producers hang out with the artists, almost like an entourage. King of Accra, he used to hang out with a certain artist when he started. You know, there's a bunch of them who hang out. You know, and I guess at a point it is cool until they say, "I clear." You realize that Charlie, the guy changed for Corona to BM now. He still they walk. You take this and going. Now he has a house now. You know, so after a while you realize, oh, this progression of stuff that you did for them, and then that's when you wake up, basically. You know, but like the days of, oh, let's hang out with they see them as, they adore them. No, there's like no two ways about it. They adore them. They want to be with them. They want to be their friends. So it's like, oh, I beg, I have this beat, take my beat. You know, and as we speak now, I mean, I know Uncle Rex went to that producer and this and this. Right now, just like how there's no genre of music, the things are so fluid now. Like one guy, just say Slum, there's one of these young producers who do a beat, and then he call about 4 guys to come and work, to come and sing on it.
Come and spit some
and spit
bars.
something on it, and they all done, they all go back home. The thing is sitting in Slums, this thing. One day Slum will just put it up. And nobody even thinks, okay, we're supposed to get money here, or money there, or this. The music is so effortless to do now. Boys can get into a studio in 30 minutes, and in 30 minutes later,
The song is done.
it's done. It's up on Spotify, DSPs, it's out. See, so the things are moving so fast now, but our systems are not moving at all. You know, so yesterday I remember you were asking Father Abraham, does a producer get cut?
Sure.
And he goes, what is a producer? That thing got me really angry, because we all know exactly what you're talking about. But it's only if you want to evade the question that you basically ask these things. But
All right.
I hope Gamro would put their systems to fit what is going on now. Because the session players and all those things, they still exist though. But the majority of the music made, it's not like, it's boys doing beats and sending through email to our people, our artists. So how do we, make things work for everyone?
I think I need to extend this question to music producers who have worked with, great artists. I need to re-establish contact with Teddy Riley or Jermaine Dupri. I mean, these people, how do they even make their money? Is it the same in America or elsewhere, where Drake or Michael Jackson comes to you, or you go to him to work with him, or you're working with an R. Kelly? Is it going to be the same as a younger Chris Brown, that, oh, my friend, pay me my money and get the hell out of here, because I have someone better walking in who can sign a split sheet and I'll make a better cut? I think I need to re-establish contacts with them.
No,
so
but
we can.
Andy, for people like Teddy Riley, even if you pay monies, they still sign a split sheet. The money is an advance.
The thing
Do you know why I mentioned Teddy Riley?
royalties.
Because I had spoken to Teddy, and Teddy mentioned to me that at a point in time he went broke.
Yeah.
He didn't have money. It was Keith Sweat that offered him. I've forgotten the money. Did he say what, $20,000 or $2,000? He said he worked on one of the songs. I think just a little bit or something like that. And it was Keith Sweat that gave him money on that. I think it was Twisted, something that got him back on his feet. Do you understand? So in this case, if someone has paid me, Rex Omar comes to me and he says, Andy, you remember the song you did for Raquel? I want you to give me that song some. I have a song written in that direction. So help me, or let's work. So Uncle Rex, you know you are my big bro. Okay, we are going to sign a split sheet. Is that okay? Me name split sheet, boss. Me come to me, mama so take crazy. I need money. So pay me my money and let's go. Stop split sheet matter. And yesterday, a producer called me and he was telling me the same thing. And the commander Moody already so na fena movie any because me here do. So if you come to me, pay me the money. Don't waste my time with split sheet. And then I can say that about 85% of Ghanaian producers think so.
95.
95. Well,
So you see, Andy,
rapidly.
right now this issue has become has come at the forefront because of the way the music industry is changing rapidly. And I like what Kofi said ago, that we always jump into embrace technology without actually preparing ourselves to get it done. For example, do you know that CDs are still selling in Europe and
Yes.
in America? But Ghana, we've just thrown
Relegated
it
it.
out. Meanwhile, the system that we're supposed to prepare,
Vinyl are sold.
Vinyls are back.
Vinyls are sold, you know.
in the last 4 years.
you know,
in Europe.
but the system that we need to put in place to embrace the new paradigm, we haven't done that. You know, so that is the problem of Ghana. We are interested in the finished product, but we are not interested in the process. That is what I'm saying. That look, we will get there. We shouldn't. I like the passion and the speed that the young people want us to get there, but we should also be very careful that by trying to get there very fast, we don't jump or leave behind hurdles that will come to haunt us. The very most important thing is, do we have a CMO? Answer is yes. Is it operating properly? Answer is no. Why is it not operating properly? Because there are bottlenecks. Can these bottlenecks be fixed? Answer is yes. Are you working on it for the bottlenecks to be fixed? Answer is yes. How soon can you get there? Not there very, very far, but I cannot really sit here and say that, oh, tomorrow Gamro will change. Even tomorrow we get all these logs and everything that is needed. Will that make Gamro or Ghanaian artists and producers rich overnight? The answer is no, because the problem does not lie only on Gamro fixing its issues, which it is working on. The problem also lies in the state called Ghana in its effort to make sure that right owners are being paid. Most of the decisions are made through policymakers and institutions and whatever. Look, Kofi, let me tell you something. You see the legal instrument that establishes Gamro.
Yes. Copyright 2010,
exactly.
LI 1962.
1962, the LI I'm talking about.
Akwabi.
This LI,
It's where that you.
this LI is supposed to be changed to meet the current trends, because when the LI was done, you see this levy that we are being given to, it was captured only CD, and then now we need to add all these
Now, it
things.
means the window for revision, right? It's every 5 years, isn't it?
No, it didn't say so. It said and any other future gadgets that will come.
No, I'm not talking about
The
the
LI
clause
itself.
in the LI itself. I'm talking about, the submission of some of these changes for review at the Attorney General.
No. That the five. What you are referring to is the license.
Oh,
The license for the CMOs.
No, not a
not
lines
the
for the
license,
CMOs.
the review of the constitutional.
That's the LI itself.
Yes.
It's done every 5 years. Oh.
I haven't seen that, but it has never been done ever since this one was done.
Now, you see, in my earlier submission, I said I had this closed door meeting. And that was the year under review, and that's why that meeting was very important. It wasn't submitted, but all those breakdowns were written. It was logged in Gamro, and it was supposed to have been submitted for review. It wasn't done.
No. You see, it's not Gamro's work. Those laws are supposed to be changed by the Copyright Office of Ghana, because Copyright Office of Ghana works under the Attorney General, and then they regulate all the 3 CMOs.
Yes.
So it is we Gamro that have been pushing that.
That's what I'm saying. They were supposed to send it to copyright. It was even Uncle Zap. That was the first time I met him in person.
Yeah.
Actually, I remember. I was really vocal. I was like, "Young man, cool down. You're fine." I remember.
So
like it was
in
yesterday.
fact, as we're talking, the LI, everything has been done. It was sent to Attorney General's Department through Copyright Office. They brought it back, so it's being worked on. And I'm just saying that some of the things, they are painfully slow. Meanwhile, it is not in your control. You see, but so long as Gamro belongs to musicians and musicians are vocal, they feel that everything that is not happening is because Gamro. No, some of the things we are just lobbying, pushing, but it will just go the way it goes because government system is very slow. So that's some of the
Right
things.
now, Street Beats, music producer Street Beats. Well, Street Beats has produced for, a lot of musicians.
Adonai producer.
Yeah, the Adonai producer. Yeah.
Tell them to hit me up if I make money.
Okay. Now, Producer Street Beat says, Andy, I'm enjoying your program, but there is a first phase they are not talking about. That's a producer agreement. No one goes directly to a split sheet without a producer agreement. Well, Street Beat, somebody say you do something to him, so you for come my court. Okay, so Uncle Rex, this message is for you. Chris EGH Music, he says, please, I'm an upcoming artist. Please ask Boss Rex if it is appropriate for someone like me to register under Gamro. And what are going to be my benefits considering my less fan base?
You see, if you're a young artist, Gamro, you might have released a work before. That is how it happens all over the world. I mean, when I was joining PRS, you have to prove to them that your music have been released for the past 6 months or so, and you have to prove to them before they accept you. And even when they accept you, you are just a associate member.
Are you a member of 2 different CMOs or just one?
I used to be a member of PRS, and then I switched to Swiza.
Okay.
You know, previously you couldn't belong to 2 CMOs, but now the laws have changed a bit, so you can belong to 2 CMOs.
Oh, so the boys who've already registered with PRS, they can
You
actually
can still be a member of Gamro.
You have to separate the
territories.
because they're supposed to have reciprocal agreements with different
yes.
territories.
So, for example, I'm a member of Gamro for Africa,
Okay.
and I'm a member of Swiza for the rest of the world. You know, so you can do that.
Now, Mark Darlington, my very good friend Mark in London, he says, Mark is manager for Reggie Mboli, huh?
Yeah.
Reggie Mboli. Mark says, Andy, please ask Rex. These. He said they have taken institutions to court to collect monies owed. Does the LI of the Copyright Act not give Gamro the power to stop them from using the assigned repertoire?
You see, the LI or Gamro copyright laws give Gamro the power to stop any music user from using music. But how would you enforce that? You know, the law is one, and how do you enforce that? You only enforce the law by sending people to court, because this becomes a civil case. You see, you cannot just use Buga Buga. Okay, you have 400 radio stations in Ghana. Can Gamro go to all these 400 radio stations and say, stop music? We send them letters that before you use music, come and take a license. And if they don't do that, the next step is you take them to court. So that is exactly what we're doing. And we can't do all music users at once. So we check the low-hanging fruits. Those that we know that if we win the case, we make big money. That's why the telcos, we are hoping to win. And then
It's been 4 years, man.
it's been 4 years.
Maybe it's not really low hanging then.
But if it happens, then it's like something good will happen to Gamro.
Will it happen?
It will happen. Because we got into judgment very soon.
All right.
There's something I want to add, Andy. In Ghana, you see, usually when you have a lot of industry stakeholders speaking about the way forward, we always talk about investments, we talk about cash injection and all that sort of thing. In fact, I mean, the recent conversation with the information minister, I don't know if he's still information minister, the Honorable Kudyanko.
Yes.
I think he passed.
He's been approved.
Is
So,
it? Okay, so he has a second term. He did mention something about, investment into the sector, be it from outside of Ghana or elsewhere. But I think, you see, statements like that just proves that people are out of touch. It's terrible. And the reason, this is not an attack on, his person or the political party. I had the same problem with the opposition when they were in power. Because you would have presidents of the musicians union, you have artists who are being interviewed and they'll be like, yeah, we think what our industry needs now is we need investment. No, we don't.
And no one will invest because how do we recoup?
Exactly. You don't fetch water into a basket or a leaking bucket. You understand? And the funny relationship between investors and investment opportunities are an investor who is successful knows where to put his 5 CDs to get 15 back. And he won't put it in a place where he's not guaranteed returns. You understand what I'm saying? So we need to really demand that systems be fixed. The last thing we need right now is because there's money to be made. We just can't reach out and grasp it. So cash injection in the creative sector is a secondary thing. We need to ensure that structures work. I beg. So our big many authorities, I beg. If you are tuned in, please get ahead with it. Get in tune with the times. It's ridiculous.
Right. So we are ending.
It's too sad.
When the conversation is too nice, Charlie, some way. Let me read. I think very, very few comments that have come in. Otuboy said, "Brandy, the submission by your reputable men you brought on your shows, their knowledge being channeled out is amazing. It's not that we don't have the right men, but we appoint political party fanatics." Your message there. Rexoma, what does this party got to do with Gamro? Our party affiliation.
They are reaching.
Original Slice says, Gamro Wahala involves all of us, artists, consumers, institutions, Gamro itself. The problem goes beyond just them, so I think the bashing should be extended to the rest. 98% of the public do not understand why they should pay for using a song. Adenek says, and please ask Beat Menaces, what is his social media handles? Boys won't link up.
Hitz FM. Follow Hitz FM. I'm sure you see it.
It's at I am Beat Menace, IAMBEATMENACE on Instagram, on Twitter.
Okay. Sadiq says, Charlie, tip top man in the studio. I love the interaction.
Mr. Dick, Abdullah.
Yes, Abdullah. Yes.
Tell him say they owe me to the.
In seat where you sit up, bro. Okay, in seat where 7 day top.
Tell him Sasha, that's
minority, you be the minority speaker. Sadiq, yeah.
Tell us I vex him. I for chop to for your house. They swear my
is that not respect to Rex, Beat Menace and 7? I love their minds. I'm just awed. Charlie, no response. Sadiq, you are also missed on the show. Hurry and come back. Anyway, he's been busy. I think he's preparing for the upcoming
the three music
awards.
Right.
Yes. Okay, gentlemen, I am so grateful.
Can I ask a few last words?
Yes.
Well, with everything that went on, we are definitely not against Uncle Rex or Gumro. And just like he said, I'll encourage all the youth, the young producers and the young musicians out there to register for Gumro, because we can all actually effect a change if you register the Gumro. We can't stand outside and rant all day. That won't work. Uncle Rex has been saying that a lot. He actually said something about Hamas Post yesterday about rants, and I thought about it like the whole night, which made a lot of sense. To actually change something, we have to be part of it.
Uncle Rex, one more thing, please, not to cut you. 7, I beg.
Sign up.
Hold your train of thought, please. We want to be able to register online on the Gambro website.
You can now.
No, you can't. I sent a link 2 days ago. The boys couldn't. You can't. So please, I hope your web guy does
your
that.
Webmaster.
Okay, I'll tell
Yeah,
them.
please tell them.
Me, I'll
The boys
personally
are
bring
ready.
the cane so you will lash him.
I can bring 200 boys to your office tomorrow. I have a bunch of boys all ready to sign up.
You see, let me
So
tell you
please.
something, please. I'm pleading. All the things I'm doing and the bashing I'm getting and everything, you know what keeps me going?
What keeps
I'm
you going?
doing it for you guys.
Right.
When I was at prime as an artist, what I didn't have, that got me so mad that at the peak of my career, I became so angry and created unnecessary enemies for myself. It's because of this same thing. I am at Gamro not because of myself, because of you guys. And with all this knowledge, please, it is yours. Come. So that tomorrow when Rexoma is not there, in fact, I'm going again because I look at the people who picked the form to lead the organization. All of you are outside. So if I also leave and all of us leave, what will be Gamro? There will not be Gamro.
Thank you.
Again, you have unfinished business.
Yeah, but also it's like the young guys are seeing you as these infamous world leaders. When they start, they are lovable. Like, you can tell the passion, but they get to a point. Infamous African world leaders. They get to a point where wahala. They want them out, and you're staying for 30 years. They're not improving anything, and they're not doing anything. That's how the boys are seeing you.
You see,
I've tried to paint a good picture of you.
Look, I've been in Gamro for only 4 years. That is what you have to understand.
Okay.
I've been behind the scene fighting for 30 years.
So it's for the everyone
but
should
I
be
have
angry at.
I've only been at Gamro's board only for 4 years. That is what you need to understand. In fact, if I had my way, I will not go again.
So it means you've been there for one term.
One term. I've never been in any helm of affair.
Okay.
I've been behind the scenes The reason why you think that I've been there for long is because I've been behind the scenes fighting for this thing to happen.
So 4 more.
So
4 more.
4 more.
4 more.
4 more. 4 more. That is if the owners of Gamro will give me the opportunity. If they don't,
we will.
I'll walk out.
Gamro, we own it. It's not for anyone. It's for us. So we own it. Yeah, it's for the people. Now, Trigmatic says, greetings to Uncle Rex, Kofi, and Seven. The solutions lie with us, and a great synergy and tolerance between all parties will make it happen. Brandy, I agree to you. I'm watching you from South Africa with my team. Please tell Uncle Rex he owes me a track, and we'll sign split sheets.
I like that.
I'm going to do something with Kofi and we'll sign split sheets.
Okay, now here comes a peer sign from Kisima. This guy works with Kisima.
Yes.
It says Gamro can outsource their online registration to me. I go sort them out like joke.
Can you please tell him to give you his contact?
No, this is a private message he sent to me.
Okay.
I'm reading from my phone. It says we have great software engineers here. Uncle Rex and Co should take advantage of talents like me. Abie, Charlie, but you know, Kisima.
And that's what I was talking about. Like, I know they probably don't respect the software engineers here, but they do a great job.
Oh, no.
They can.
I think when he was speaking, he said he had meetings with Good Music,
he did
Kisima.
mention that.
He mentioned all of
Okay.
them.
I mean, well, I
I'm
don't want to
pretty-
talk
me,
because
I'm aware.
we've
I'm
actually
aware.
had meetings with him about the same thing. So I have some other
Because me, I'm aware.
opinion.
Uncle Rex, if you recall, sorry, Kofi, if you recall, you remember I was one of the few people you contacted when we were sorting out the logging thing. Yes. So me, I know they've had meetings. That I, of course, said, tell Uncle Rex we love him. What we do is constructive criticism. We speak of the organization and not him. Love always. I know that I've got Uncle Rex's own nephew.
I see.
Okay. Well, Kofi, you wanted to say something before we get
I
out.
said, sorry. I had wanted to add that I feel we don't just have to adopt technologies, we also need to adapt it, but do it in such a way that it's able to interface with the rest of the world. It has to be tailored to suit our unique problems and not just importing existing technologies and just slap it on, or just slap it here to try and solve problems that are uniquely ours. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So we need something like a double-edged sword, and there's no better time to enact such changes than now, because like I said, there's a paradigm shift that's happening globally, and now is the time for us to get all hands on deck. That's why groups like Alliance for Change sprouted, because it's a collective of creative arts stakeholders who want to see change. So that will create a sustainable and thriving industry.
But by the way, I'm correct. Is Gamro going to get royalties from Spotify? Because they're supposed to give mechanicals and performance
definitely.
royalties.
Spotify, I think they've contacted Gamro
Okay.
because they need to be licensed before they can even start operating.
But they've already
They
started.
began.
Yeah, so I'm saying they've contacted Gamro.
Okay.
So I think it's
Right. Now, on Sunday, 7th March 2021, in case you want the Bofia team to come to your joint or promote it, please call 0544-113131 or 0243-106947. On Sunday, well, the action is happening opposite Pejiase Lodge. I'm talking of the Lodge Tavern. Bofia is led by Pokia 101 and Mike Gizel. Sponsored by Amalina Children's Haven, the Lord's Tavern, Jehovah is my friend, side attraction, more souvenirs and interaction with your favorite stars or celebrities. Mrs. Peace Esio Chedankwa, CEO of P1 Beauty Care, is our special guest on Sunday, 7th March. Now, are you watching this program on a flat screen HD TV? Did you know that you can get it in clearer and brighter high definition quality, which is 5 times better than standard definition? Get the new HD and decoder today from the nearest authorized dealer or any Electroland showroom. And Charlie, you'll be well sorted. You enjoy the Philly experience on your HD TV. Charlie, these things, yentanya, into a beamer or say, I beg you, make you no lose guard. I beg pa chop. All right. So call 0242-439872. 0242-439872 for more details. All right. Now, the vaccines are ongoing. Charlie, 7, you get yours.
I dey fear, so I go turn to frog.
I tweeted something a couple of days ago. I was like,
But you, pa,
Charlie,
I had mine a few days ago.
how was it?
oh,
I took mine 3 days ago.
But
But then, Charlie, it make you feel like some malaria be catch you.
you know, they shake you
serious,
small.
But,
They shake you small.
Charlie.
So yesterday, the whole day, I was like,
But today I feel I'm okay.
That's
Yesterday I felt a bit feverish, so I went home, ate some big bowl of fufu, and I checked my whiskey level.
But I say the fufu self, if they cure the corona. It depends on
I mean, that can't say the inside.
All way you wash your hand, then that's still like.
Charlie, thank you very much for
boys
coming.
they talk about this vaccine thing, Charlie. If the government really wants the masses to take it, unless they conceal them for boiled egg inside,
Oh,
because
dear.
Charlie, because yeah.
Oh no! It not be anything. I think you see Ghanaians.
it's a
Ghanaians
misconception.
strive with too much misconceptions.
I want to
On-
take it just because to encourage people that oh, it's not anything.
Yes.
I mean, let's go.
Listen, when I was taking mine, Fly my boy took a snapshot of he took a video of it, and then he posted it.
Right.
He sent me the video and I posted it on my social media pages. Check out the comments. That's like you on your own, no. This one, yeah. But
Charlie, the scary one be the broadcast, the WhatsApp broadcast when our older aunties they send 5 a.m.
Charlie,
5 a.m. when they.
And now why it's true, Charlie.
Yeah, no, yanko. Because if it is protecting you from getting the virus, well, why must you be scared? And too many conspiracies.
you know,
we can't go anywhere.
before I went to take it, I did not tell anybody apart from my wife. And when my son got to hear that I've gone to take that thing, come and see, he's so angry. But Daddy, why did you go and take it? How can you believe these people? They want to kill all black people. I say, look at you.
Thank you very much for coming, Uncle Rex.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kofi, Big Menace. Thank you, 7.
Thank you.
Charlie, we have to link up. We have to link up.
Definitely. We have to get your money for the traffic chinky.
Uncle Rex. Yeah.
I'm gonna read it.
Sure. Now let's say a big thank you.
This is Hitz.